Welcome back to the post-production podcast. I'm your host, Connor Woods,
I'm your co-host, Michael Deck.
and today we're going to be talking about broadcast journalism.
The only podcast with the set right next to the bathrooms and the commons.
The only podcast where there's tons of background noise and not in a controlled environment.
Gotta love it.
Alrighty, so our first topic for today is why we joined broadcast.
See, the reason I joined broadcast is because my cousin, Oliver Watts, told me to. I remember freshman year, first day of broadcast journalism, Mr. Loutis, I was like, hey, do you know Oliver Watts? So I get myself some brownie points. And he said, heck yeah, man. And I'm glad Oliver told me to join broadcast. He showed me some of the videos he was working on. It was a lot of fun. And he's the reason I joined broadcast.
Basically why I joined broadcast was A, I was told it was an easy class and that intrigued me. B, it had to do a lot with technology and VRs and a bunch of stuff.
Cool
and
stuff.
C, I really got into the whole world of editing before I began high school, so like pre-freshman year, and the class intrigued me for that reason.
I remember that. That was a good phase.
Yeah, I made a bunch of very, very poor edits using an outdated editing software.
I think it was like one of the Filmora or one of the free ones.
Yeah, it's like
Those were the best.
WeVideo.
I see WeVideo, it worked because the school accounts give you the free good version. Anyways, our next topic, what is your favorite project, Connor Michael Woods, that you've ever done in Broadcast 1 or 2?
I definitely think that the Broadcast 1 projects have been more interesting thus far. I definitely have to go with my infomercial project, 1-800-DOG. All right,
That was a good one.
that one took a lot out of me. That took a decent amount of time to learn how to do a lot of the stuff because that was the first video I used keyframing, and it was all shot on iPhone. Funny meme.
It was.
Yeah.
I was actually in that video.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. I think my infomercial, I did it with Caleb and his sister Kira. It was Do It All. It was the Do It All product that was literally just bottled water. I did it with Caleb, and the original scene, the director, the Snyder Cut, actually had a video of me being waterboarded, which I think made it in, but, I had to cut a little bit out. There was going to be video of me, I don't know if I used the pool. I didn't use the pool, the video where I jumped into the pool, but I used that for a later video. That reminds me. It was a video resume. I didn't like it at first because I thought it was really boring, but the final product actually turned out really well. So, those two were probably my favorite, which were both Broadcast 1 projects.
My video resume was absolutely awful. I'd gotten burnt out on school, and so I literally, broadcast was kind of my last thought at the end of the year, last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, hey, if you turn this in, I'll raise your grade to so-and-so. I really want this in. It's really important to me. And I'm like, I got you. And I put something together in 15 minutes with clips I had pre-recorded from months ago. And I turned it in, and that was just the most embarrassing video I think I've ever made in my life.
I remember that.
It was quite awful.
Mr. Loutis really came.
He came through.
Speaking of editing, what was it like, a little wee baby freshman coming into, this amazing, wonderful school, learning how to edit in Broadcast 1?
Oh man, yeah, coming into this really amazing school and this really amazing school district. Circling back, this school district is definitely a
gym.
Definitely a gym.
A diamond in the rough, perhaps.
And coming into the school was definitely interesting. Definitely going 4 days a week for one quarter and then going 5 days a week for the second definitely hindered the process of editing and video recording, and it was kind of really unconventional, but I think we made it work pretty well.
See, you got lucky because Connor here had broadcast his second semester. I had it my first semester, so I only had 2 days a week to edit videos. So what I had to do is I didn't get to learn Final Cut because we only had 2 days a week, and there's no way that you can shoot and edit a video in the span of 2 days that you want to do. So I edited everything on WeVideo and basically shot everything from home. But the good thing was I had so much free time. I had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to get like Caleb or Kira's sister, to come over and shoot, or Jayla Woolbright, who I used to live next to. We did a couple videos together, and my other good friend Xander Plank, he was in a couple videos. I think he was in one. I think he was in the video. He was gonna be in Do It All, and so was Jayla, but they both ended up being in the video resume because I had spare clips. But I completely went off topic. Learning to edit on WeVideo was super easy, but then towards when it was 4 days a week more, I tried to teach myself Final Cut, and then I pretty much like not finished learning, but like really got comfortable with Final Cut probably the start of this year.
I didn't even learn how to use Final Cut until halfway through this quarter. I'd used my personal laptop, and I used Vegas 14, and I didn't use Final Cut at all. So I used Vegas 14, which is an outdated software mostly used for like really not good clips. Like it's not a good editing software really, because it's outdated. And so it was a lot more time consuming to take care of like editing such as keyframing or filtering or even cutting at that, because the keybinds were extremely limited. And yeah, I think that's Final Cut definitely changed the way that we produce videos, and it definitely speeds up the process, and then it definitely
Makes it, I think, way easier.
it
And
makes
just way
it
more
easier,
fun.
and the quality is higher.
It's like if you wanted, I describe Final Cut as like if you don't know how to edit and you have a base understanding of Final Cut, it's like, you're trying to like say like solo on a guitar and you have no idea how to play the guitar. On Final Cut, you don't know how to play the guitar, but you can make something coherent with
Yeah.
Final Cut. It's a great tool.
The process for making a video from start to finish. So basically, our teacher, Mr. Loudis,
The
bless
king.
his heart,
The king.
he is the king.
We love him.
He once or twice a week, he comes to the class, he quiets everybody down, and he's like, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is the main requirement. Get at it, right?
Do it.
And so part of the process in getting your points is turning in a shot list and a script. So a shot list, it's basically just a Google spreadsheet of everything you want to do, what type of shots you're going to get, what the camera, of course. And it usually doesn't have to be super detailed. It kind of just needs to be a rough
Sort of
idea.
like building block
Yeah.
for what you want to do.
And then once we have that down and we start formulating our idea, we
Excuse me.
bless you. We can really start visualizing what we want to do. So
Visualize.
no, visualizing.
It sounded like you said visualize.
Yeah, visualizing. Yeah,
Anyway, sorry.
sure. Visualizing what we want to do in terms of like the type of shots.
How you want it to look.
Yeah, like the final project. So we come up with this idea, and then we just
Do it.
yeah. So once we get that done, and then we write up a script, we usually don't film in school.
Yeah, we prefer to. Obviously, right now that is not the case because we've had some conflicting schedules, and that's okay. But school is probably the worst place to film because it is full of teenagers who are very loud, and that is not fun. And you also have a lot more freedom, especially if you have a friend with a car, or you can drive yourself. Because like for our PSA, we did that with a couple friends from Nixa, and we went to Wilson's Creek. Outside they have a nice like playground area, and it would look way better than
Yeah.
if you did it in like the Kickapoo Commons or something.
That video, I'd like to point out, turned out very well with the camera work.
Which was majority of our amazing host Connor Woods. If you'd like to add in some stock applause,
Yeah, some
sound
stock
effects here.
applause.
Some
I'll
stock
definitely
applause
get some stock applause.
for yourself.
So we end up finding a day that works with both of our schedules, and then we meet up outside of school, and then we film a bunch of shots, and we end up using most of them, and then we go through, and usually the shots aren't what make our videos good.
It's the editing.
It's the editing.
Yeah.
And so we spend about an hour and a half in class editing or out of school editing. And we try and make it the best of what we can with our knowledge of Final Cut.
And we really try to put ourselves in the video. I feel like we really try,
Yeah.
like with everything, we try and give it this own unique, like with our PSA, it was about peer pressure, and Mr. Lattice, encouraged us to kind of flip it on its head. So we tried to make it as funny as possible, and I think we did
I think we did a half decent job.
we did a spanking job.
Yeah.
People still say that. I think we did good. Speaking of our wonderful PSA, I think we'd like to talk about how we shot our PSA, which I touched on a little bit, but we might touch on a little bit more. Our PSA, we wanted to shoot it. We met up with our friends Reagan and Gwen, who go to Nixa, and me and Connor were going to be a set of characters, and Reagan and Gwen were going to be a set of characters. So the basis for the video is about peer pressure, and originally it was going to be me getting rejected by either Reagan or Gwen, but
Yeah, I mean,
for some reason, it didn't really work out.
we definitely did play that PSA by ear.
That was not a very professional.
Everybody was clowning around, and I was kind of just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
Connor was also woken up from a nappy and had been playing 2K because he thought he couldn't get a ride, so he was a little sleep deprived.
I got home and I played a couple minutes of 2K, and then I'm like, man, I'm tired. And I go to sleep, and I wake up to like 30 phone calls
From us.
just like, hey, we're picking you up, and I'm like, oh.
He was like, it's so far out. And you're like, nah, we got to get this done, and we did, and it went pretty well. But I was gonna touch bases on this. Originally, Reagan and Gwen were gonna be the two people that start talking and like call me and Connor weird, but they kept laughing, so me and Connor had to be the main characters because they
couldn't keep a straight face.
They couldn't keep it together.
It took a couple of keen directing skills to really get
everything together.
Get what we needed, and the camera that we used didn't have a mic, had an internal mic, but the audio turned out all right, and the actual video turned out even better.
Fantastic. I was very surprised by the quality of the audio because, it's a Canon stock microphone.
Yeah.
But for that kind of, it wasn't bad. I liked it. As it's quirky.
We definitely put a spin on that for sure.
Yeah. So now we'd like to talk about what we want to do in the future with just video editing in general. Maybe brainstorm a little bit, what we'd like to see from the future of broadcasts, and maybe talk about our next project that if we have a loyal fan base out there, maybe they'd want to hear some more from us about some ideas for our next project.
Definitely thinking about what we could do in the future with our abilities right now. It's definitely one of those freelance things where you could literally go in and edit a video or a photo for anybody for a little bit of side cash, or it can go all the way up to like full-time like wedding videography, or like working for somebody like a content creator. The opportunities are limitless. I think that my understanding of what I want to do in the future with like video editing and Final Cut, I think it's pretty much just going to be limited to making really stupid videos, like funny, stupid.
Yeah.
And I think if I were to have the opportunity to go do something, I definitely would take it, because all of this really intrigues me.
It's also fun. It's rewarding too.
Yeah.
You put even if it's something dumb like me and Connor have made many a time now, just seeing people like laugh at some stupid joke that's really not that funny, and you laughing at your own stupid joke, maybe that's again not that funny, especially if it's my video. It's rewarding because it's just good to make people laugh and make yourself laugh and make something that's just kind of casual and dumb. But there are also those other times when you make something maybe a little bit more serious, like my video resume last year, which was fun and more of a wholesome video. You can really do whatever you want with video, and I think that's the beauty of it, is you can do whatever you want. I think with YouTube, like you said, there's a lot, since YouTube is has turned into a more professional thing over the years. A lot of content creators have their own editor. Like used to, they used to, like PewDiePie used to edit his own videos, make them like 10 minutes long. Everybody used to edit their own videos, and there's still many people that do that. But my favorite example is like Cold Ones. They're it's Max Mofo and Chad, or Anything for Views, that used to be with the iDubbbz and Joji people, or not Joji, Pink Guy used to be, or Filthy Frank used to be. But they have a really good editor, and it's really funny. And, you can just do a lot of cool stuff with that.
I think that definitely, since YouTube has taken off and the amount of ad revenue that some of these content creators get, it just expands the opportunity to really be able to go and make a lot of money.
Yeah,
from
just making videos. There's this guy I really like. His name's Ludwig. He streams on Twitch, and he also has a YouTube channel. And basically, what he's been doing, he'll just stream on Twitch, and then he'll take segments from his Twitch streams and just put them on YouTube. And it's really he has a Reddit recap, or he has this thing called Mogul Money, which is like Jeopardy. And he'll have good guest stars on there, and it's just really interesting. What's our time at?
We are good on time because
So,
we need to cut it up a little bit.
Should we do a formal outro?
I think we should give a little sneak peek into our next project.
I think we should too.
So our next project is going to be a scary film, horror film, scary something.
Spooky short film.
Spooky something. All right.
Spooky.
Now, we have pondered on a couple of ideas, not really.
I was gonna say we have.
Yeah. I have an idea.
I have some, yeah.
It's this one. I'm definitely gonna try and put a lot of time and effort into it, into making it something that's really good and not just a dumpster fire like a lot of my other projects.
I think me and Connor can really make something good.
I think it'll be interesting.
I told you we should be doing a podcast. Podcasts are fun.
It's something we definitely might have to continue.
The second set, the new set for our podcast hopefully won't be next to the boys and girls bathroom in the commons of Kickapoo High School.
This wonderful school.
Yeah.
That we all enjoy going to.
We all love it.
Okay. Well, enough rambling. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Post Production Podcast. Okay. Goodbye.
Don't put that in. Please don't put that in.
Mr. Lattis, if you made it to the end, take 1 point off of our project. Half a point.
Half a point.
Just to prove.
0.68 of a point.
Yeah.
160.
Take off 1/10 of a point.
A tenth of a point. And then add back a point, but still leave that 1/10 of a point. So it'll be if it's out of 60, do 60.110 out of 60.